Right, Coach, so looking at Clemson's offense, what problems do they present? It seems like probably quite a bit, huh?
Well, they can run and pass. Got a good quarterback, got good running backs, and they don't beat themselves. They protect the football, and they have a good scheme that they believe and trust in, and run it to perfection. So they do a really good job.
A lot of times when you face a freshman quarterback, I can do some things to frustrate them or confuse them. Is there anything different about Trevor Lawrence that kind of sets him apart from other freshmen?
Oh, well, he's talented arm-wise. He got a quick release. He sees the field. He understands the game. He's long, and so that gives him a slight advantage, I guess, if you want to say that, by being so tall with a quick release and understanding the game and playing quarterback for so long, that he just totally understands. And they teach it well over there, and they keep it simple enough for him to be able to make the proper reads, and then he just goes out and executes.
Freshman quarterbacks starting isn't really, I guess, new in college football anymore, but have you seen that change over the course of your career from several years ago? Or
And that's not just quarterback. That's all positions. Guys playing early, guys wanting to leave early, and things like that. Whereas now, nowadays, when you have a fifth-year senior, man, you have a bunch of them. You feel like you got a veteran team, and you're not seeing that as much. So guys are playing a lot earlier than in the past. But hey, that's you got to roll with the punches and go with the times, and have guys ready to play. Not just because they're young guys, but they're talented enough. They're the best guys, and they should be playing.
Clemson running back Travis Etienne is averaging over 8 yards a carry and has 14 touchdowns. Just what makes him so special, and how do you stop that guy?
He is quick and fast, has great balance, and I can't tell you how you stop him. I mean, that wouldn't be smart on my part. But he is quick and fast, and like I said, he has good balance. We got to definitely wrap him up and gang tackle if that's part of trying to stop him. And we look forward to the challenge.
What are some of the little things that Brian Burns does that might set him apart from some of his peers?
He's smart, first of all. What a lot of people don't understand, I think, is that, a smart football player allows you to be an even better football player, and that's on all levels. If you have a great understanding of your opponent, first of all, the guy that's across from you, and as well as the scheme and understanding, just in certain situations they like to do this, and in certain situations they like to do that, and I'm talking all teams, every game, or what have you, then now your game can go to another level. You can have some things that you can anticipate happening, and when it does, you're like, boom, I thought so, I can do this, I can do that. So just by being smart, number one, allows him to let his natural athletic ability come into play. And like I said back a while ago, the guy had a great spring, he had a great fall camp, so you're starting to see, you play like you practice. And he's a great example of it, and he's a great example for our guys for years to come, because we can go pull up practice tape of him doing what he's doing in the games, and that's awesome.
We saw a couple younger linebackers, or I guess linebackers that were just ready to go and begin the season play, some against Wake Forest, Emmett and Zaquandre. I mean, Emmett from the injury, Zaquandre kind of switched positions. What have you seen? How have you seen them kind of develop?
They're developing extremely well. They've earned that. Had 105 or 6 reps versus Wake Forest, so we can't have anybody play that many reps. We need that depth, and those guys, again, we always say best players play, and so we're not just throwing them out there to throw them out there. They've earned it. They've worked hard in practice. They've come up for extra film work, and totally got the defense down and understand it, and they've earned those reps, and so that gives us some depth to be able to save some other guys like a Woodby, like a Brooks, to be able to slide those guys in there and get them some reps as well.
It seems like Joshua Kando's production has gone up the past couple of weeks. Is that just a matter of him being back in football shape, or is it something else starting to click for him?
I think him coming around in football shape. He had been out for a little while, but you can see him start to catch his rhythm. He's starting to feel good out there again, and he's coming. So I thank God for that. We'll need him for this latter half of the season, and hopefully he'll continue to keep moving forward in that direction.
Coach, is there any added importance when you're playing a team of the caliber of Clemson to be able to get pressure with just 4 guys?
You always want to mix it up, you know what I mean? 4, 5, 6 guys, whatever it takes to be able to be successful. So we never say just do this many guys, you know what I mean? It just depends on what's working for you and how it's going so far in the game, and you get a feel for the game, and then you go from there. But we'll try to do, we'll have multiple things ready to do, and we'll see what's working best for us.
What are some of the keys for the defensive backs when they're playing an offense like Clemson that does so many motions and rubs and things like that?
You got to play with great technique. You got to have be able to see things before they happen. Pre-snap, understanding understanding situations and things like that. So pre-snap is always big. Just understanding what they like to do in certain situations, and not only your particular receiver, but the offense in itself. What are they trying to get accomplished? And so just understanding that it'll be a big help for our guys.
Kind of the same philosophies for the defensive backs, trying to slow down the wide receivers, or 6'5", 6'4". Like, how do you compensate for that edge that they have?
You got to play with great technique. You got to challenge and play with a mindset that, hey, like a defensive back does. Ball can't be caught on me. That's how all defensive backs should think, and that's how we preach to our guys, and then we go out there and play. But the technique more than anything, and there's things that you can do versus a taller guy, being a shorter guy, that can help you be successful, and we've been working on those things.
Coach, in the preseason, obviously Clemson's front four was pretty hyped, and they see a bunch of national recognition. So far, Brian Burns has arguably been the best defensive lineman in the ACC. Do you think it kind of motivates him not to receive that kind of same recognition?
Would that motivate you? Maybe. No, you'll be motivated. They told you this guy was a better reporter than you before, then you're gonna be motivated. So absolutely, I would think so. I would be motivated to go out and prove that, hey, I'm the guy. So, but beyond that, he's just been a guy that has practiced well even in the spring and in fall. I keep saying that, and so you just seeing how he practices showing up on the playing field. So that's what's going on.
How does he make his teammates better? I mean, both in terms of production, but then also work ethic and practice habits, that sort of thing.
Just by what you said, you see him working like that, and we point those things out when he's doing those type of things, and everybody else steps their games up, and we point them out when they do well also. So we always encouraging our guys to not only be vocal leaders, but be examples on the field of how to practice and how to go hard all the time and give maximum effort.
Do you see it kind of in a practical sense too, in terms of like if offenses are paying attention to him, it opens things up for the interior guys or the guy and on the other side?
Exactly right. So that's an opportunity for other guys to make plays. As a matter of fact, after one of the sacks last week, I told Kendo got a sack. I said, thank Brian. Around the bench, I said, make sure you he said, thank you, Brian.
Coach, I apologize. Somebody already asked us. I showed up a little bit late, but in terms of the substitutions that kind of give you some problems against Wake Forest, bringing guys on, Clemson likes to go tempo too. Is that something you think you've got figured out?
Yeah, we have it figured out. It was good thing about it. We didn't have a substitution penalty, so when that was going on, but they were going super fast, the fastest we've seen so far this year, and so we are prepared for the next team that tries to do that.
Have you ever seen a team run tempo off of incompletions and negative plays? I mean, that's
they were
very rare.
rolling, man. Those guys were fast, man. And the thing about it, all of us, meaning defensive coaches across the country, are trying to figure out the best way to get our guys to line up against fast tempo teams. But every time you see those teams play, I don't care who they are, you're gonna see 4 or 5 times where guys just get lined up on the film. You know what I mean? Like trying to get lined up versus a high tempo team, and that's something that offenses are doing to their advantage. And we're getting there as defenses, and we'll get there where you won't see any game where a guy isn't lined up. Guys will be lined up and be ready to go.